Now we want to focus on designing our first Power BI report page. For that, I will delete this chart here on my report page. So I just click on that chart so that it's selected, and then you can press the delete key, and then you have your empty page again here. So right now we will start again from the scratch. We will do several things on our report here, and we will start with a pretty easy chart with a clustered column chart as we had it before. So just click on the visualization you want to use on your report page, and then you have this container. You can move it by just pressing the left mouse key. You can freely move it around your report page. If you go here on these edges of the object, you can resize it, make it larger or smaller as you need it. As shown before, each visualization, if you have selected it, you have some areas where you can place data fields. Here on the right side in this data menu, we have all the data fields from our table. And here we have the places where you can just drop the data fields. So for example, if you want to have the revenue for your y-axis, just select it here, drag it from here, and just drop it here in the area of the y-axis. Sometimes we have smaller errors like that. For example, if you take a look at the details, something is with this calculated column. Sometimes if that happens, normally it's helpful if you just refresh the data once. So the data is refreshed, and right now it's working. I don't know what exactly happened in that case, but obviously we have some issue with our calculated column with the revenue. Well, right now we've just dragged it here into the y-axis area, and that's enough what you need for an easy chart. So just the measure, and then you can see the chart here. So we have one bar for the total revenue. You can see it's approximately 20K dollars. If you go or hover over with the mouse just on the bar, not clicking, just going over it, you see the so-called quick info, which is this little white box here where you can see the exactly amount of the revenue. So it's 19,999 and 6 cents. So that's the y-axis. We have the x-axis, and well, depending on what you are placing there, the x-axis is divided by that field. For example, if I just take the product group and just drag it here, then I have 3 bars because the x-axis is divided by these 3 different product group items. Right now I just want to place the month again there, so I will open the sales date here. And behind each date column in Power BI, you have a so-called date hierarchy. You see it here. If you open the date hierarchy, you have year, quarter, month, and day. These hierarchies are generated automatically by Power BI, so you don't have to do anything for it. It's just out of the box. You just have a date column which needs to be assigned the date data type, of course. And Power BI automatically generates these hierarchies. So that's pretty useful because right now we can just drag the month into the x-axis and we have the month here just out of the box. In more professional or more advanced scenarios, you probably would create your own date hierarchy table or date dimension where you can pre-calculate such things like month or quarter or years by yourself. And there you have the total control on, for example, the names that are displayed here. Is it the full name of the month, or is it just an abbreviation? Or maybe you want the full name but with a year at the end or something like that. Well, you cannot do that with that automatically generated date hierarchy. That's, well, just out of the box. It's pretty easy to use and pretty fast to use it. But of course, you don't have the full control on the things there. If you want to do that, for example is a topic of an Power BI course where you deal 2 days only with Power BI and all its features and how you can create things like that. But for our example here, that's pretty much enough. So by that we have a simple column chart here, as you can see. And now we maybe, we can rearrange it a little. I will place it like here. So that's one thing. Then what else do we have? Well, all these diagrams, they work pretty much the same. Depending on what diagram type you chose, you have slightly different areas of where you can put data. For example, in this case, we could take the main product group, for example, and place it as a legend. That's another division of each category on the x-axis is divided by the legend. So in this case, we have two main product groups. So we don't, or right now we don't have only just one bar, but two of it. Well, that's with the legend, what you can do here. So one other nice thing is that you can easily switch between the visualizations. So if you decide right now, I want to see how does my data look like maybe with a stacked column chart, you can just click. First, you have to select the diagram, and then you just click on a different visualization, for example, the stacked column chart. And then it's just changed from a clustered bar chart to a stacked bar chart. That's what, or column chart, and that's what we see here. So, or if you want to make it a bar chart, then you can just click on the bar chart and it's changed or switched to a bar chart or to a stacked area chart. So that makes it pretty easy to just try and take a look what does look nice or what not. So that's pretty easy to handle with that. So we have the common chart types here. So bar diagrams, stacked, clustered, stacked 100%, bar chart, column chart, line charts, area charts, combined charts here. And then we have some special kinds of funnel or maybe this waterfall diagram and the scattered chart. We have pie chart, a tree map. We can use this one. That's a pretty easy to use thing as well. So I just click here. Important thing, if you want to create a new chart or a new visualization on your report page, make sure you haven't selected another chart. If you have selected a chart and then press one of those buttons here, then the selected chart is, well, it's changed into the new type you've pressed on or clicked on. So if you want to avoid that, maybe or not maybe, then you just have to click somewhere on the blank space of the report page, and then you just click, for example, on the tree map. So right now I have the tree map container here, and again we have some areas where we can put some data items, but they are slightly different. So you see we don't have the y-axis or x-axis or legend, but instead of that we have category, details, and values. So it's depending on the diagram type, it differs a little. So right now I will maybe take the revenue again and just place it for the values. And then maybe I take the product group as a category. There you see, beer, lemonade, water, just a little water, a lot of a lot of beer. And you can also place something, for example, the product name in the details area. So that is just that the areas are divided by the product name. So that's this tree map thing. Well, yes. Maybe another one, maybe we should just take the matrix thing, which is just like a cross tab. You have rows, you have columns, you have values. You, for example, place the revenue in the values. You can go and place the product names in the rows. And then you can maybe take the quarters in the columns. And then you have a small matrix visualization. As you can see, you can move it around here a little. And so we have, yeah, well, 3 easy visualizations on our report page right now. So if you have it in this state right now, maybe we want to format the things. So maybe we want to change the color, the background color of the report page. So all the format options you have, and it doesn't really matter if it's a single visualization or if it is the whole report page, you find it here. It's this symbol here, the format your visual. So if I just click on the report page and go here, format your report page, you see all the formatting options for the report page. So maybe if I take the background here, for example, here I can just change the color. I could say, oh, maybe I want to have this one, this light gray. And nothing happens right now. Maybe it's the wallpaper. The wallpaper it was. Or you can just, for example, choose an image and take that as a background image. That's possible as well. So, well, all the things for the report page you find here. So you can format the filter pane, you can, yeah, you see border, background, search box, header, whatever. What you don't find here in this formatting options, well, it's not there. Could be or could happen that maybe in a future version it will be available. For example, in earlier versions of Power BI, it wasn't possible to format the column headers in a bold way. It wasn't, there weren't just these buttons as they are, for example, in Word. So, well, it was just not possible, but I don't know when. Some versions later, it was implemented, and right now it's pretty easy to format all those things. So maybe we should just take a look right now at the cross tab at the matrix and format the matrix. So I just select the matrix, go here to the format your visual thing, and you see you have for the column headers, for example, you can just open this column headers. There we could decide to format it bold, and now it is bold. You can choose a background color, I don't know, maybe like this. So whatever you want and whatever you wish, you find it here. Or this. So you can find all the things here, column headers, row headers. You can, for example, column subtotals. You can just display or undisplay or hide those total columns. For example, this one, if I don't want to see it, or that one, depending on what I just want to do here. Specific column, there, for example, you can select KPI here, and then you can go here and just say, I want to have it with, show it as billions, millions, or thousands, or whatever. So stuff like that. If I say, for example, thousands, then it's like that with this K appearance here. So that's how formatting goes, and it's pretty much the same for all the things. So maybe I can go here just to the diagram, and again you can, for example, I could go to the general section. We have this title here. I could hide it if I don't want to have it, or I can just open it and maybe go here and just say it's the monthly revenue, and then it's monthly revenue. And if I have this one, maybe I don't need the title of the X and Y axis. So I just go here to visual, to X axis, and just say, I don't need the title. And then the title goes away. And the same with the y-axis. I don't need the title. The title is switched off and not shown any longer. And our diagram is a little bit more, well, it's easier to get the diagram right now, I think. So that's pretty good. Or here also with the tree map, we could just go here and just say, oh, I want to have a nicer title, or just want to define it by myself. You could go here and just say revenue by product group or whatever. Product group, like this. And you have a new title here. So that's formatting. It's pretty much, that is formatting. Just go to the visualization. You wanna format something. And then, yeah, well, as you have seen, it's pretty easy. Just go ahead and just take a look if you find the option you need. If so, it's good. If not, well, then never mind. Maybe in a future version, you will find this option then there. So what else can we do? Regarding layout, design, and formatting, it's possible to, if you go here on the insert menu, for example, to just put a text field here, my first simple report, and then you can just format this thing, make it bold, make it huge, maybe like that, maybe somewhere should be where is the background thing? Also format text box, probably under effects here, and we will just take this one like that. So with that, you can, for example, place it as a report title here. I don't know, maybe here. And that's a text field. You have, for example, an image here, shapes and stuff like that. You can place it on your report page as well. So what else do we have? Maybe filtering. So right now we are just showing the data we have in our database. So you can place filters on the single visualizations if you want to. You can place filters on the whole page or on the whole report. So I will show you how that works out. So for example, if I go here, I just click on the matrix and open this filter pane here. And you see filters on this visual. There you have the 3 columns we already show in our report. So we have the KPI, we have the month, no, the quarters, and the product name. So if you just want to, let's say we just want to see 2 quarters here, you can just open these things here, just here, and just select what you want to see. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, for example, or quarter 4, or whatever. So you can just do it and then close it, and you have this filtering here on your visual. If you want to erase it, just click here on clear filter and everything's fine again. You have also advanced filtering, it's called. It's like show everything that contains this or that, or which is blank or not blank, empty or not empty, or if there are numbers in the column which is larger than this or that. So that is advanced filtering. You can do it, yeah, in an easy way as well. So that's pretty much that. Or the same with products. If you just open the products, you can just select, I'm just interested in these 4 things here, and you just click them and then everything's fine. So, or just clear it again. Sometimes you want to set a filter on something you don't have in your matrix, which you don't want to show. For example, let's say we want to create a report just for our beers. Of course, I could go here and just click on the beers, or I could use the product group where we have the beer as well. And if I do so, when I want to use a product group for filtering, then I can just drag it from the data model here to this place. And then I can just then I have it here. As you see, it's not shown here, but I have it here. And now I can just click on beer and everything's filtered by beer. So, or lemonades and water, and that's an option as well. You can do that on all these visualizations. So the filters I place here only affect this matrix, but not the other diagrams. So sometimes maybe I have a filter. For example, if I create this report right now just for maybe for the first 2 quarters, then I can just click on the report page and you have filters on this page, and you can, for example, drag the quarter here and then you say Q1 and Q2. And as you can see, this one is filtered by these quarters and this one as well, and this one also is filtered. An easy way to see by what the things are filtered is if you just go on this filter symbol here. You see quarter is Q1 or Q2. Here it's the same, and here it's also the same. So this is a page filter, and we have the same for all pages. It's the same, but it's affecting all pages then. One last thing on filtering is this one here, the so-called slicer, which is some kind of interactive filtering for the user. So you just place it on the page here, and for example, I will put the sales channel here in the field. And right now I have these, for example, if I click on store, you see the values are changing. If I click on web shop or fax, you see the values are changing here. So that's the so-called slicer. So right now it's working already, but if you go to the formatting options, you can, for example, go here and say slicer settings and just say you want to have the tiles. So if you go here right now, it's looking a little bit nicer, I would say. You can make it smaller and then maybe move it here. And we can go and format the values right now. So if I go here and maybe take a background color, this one maybe fat and a little bit larger, then it looks like that. So slicer header I want to turn off, and maybe I go to the general section, effects, and just select this one here. So right now we have that. Can make it a little bit smaller, and right now you can just filter by clicking on the buttons here, for example on store or on fax. You can also click fax and store if you press the control key at the same time. So right now we've seen a lot of options how to design our report page, and as you have seen, it's not that difficult, to be honest. So that's the so-called slicer. Another thing, maybe, I don't know, maybe you've seen that before. If you go here and, for example, click on this entry, you see the rest is filtered by this element here. So if I re-click here, then the filter is moved away. The same happens if you just click here, for example, on the alcoholic drinks. You see it here pretty nice. You only see the beer boxes here, but nothing else. So this is called interactions. You can define that. This is also a topic, for example, of one of the larger courses for Power BI. How to configure this. So you can configure that this mechanism doesn't take place in any cases. Or for example, if you click here, then this diagram is filtered, but that one doesn't happen anything. Or you can deactivate it completely as you want. So that's our report page. We will save it right now. And in the next video, we will publish it to the Power BI cloud then.